Hey, you're about to watch a clip from my pop culture podcast, The EP Show. If you would like to check out the full episode, you can listen to it with the links in the description below. But without further ado, let's jump straight into the clip. What really took the internet by storm this past weekend, and that was the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith debacle, right? Which started last week with with August Alsina pretty much just coming out and confirming the fact that he was in a relationship with Jada, and that Will Smith gave him his blessing. And then everybody's like, oh shit, this confirms the rumors of open relationship that I guess there has been rumors in the industry, I guess. I'm not privy to it. I'm not in the fucking industry. I'm in the streets. I don't know. I listened to, that was a bar from a rapper a long time ago. That's definitely not mine. But basically, yeah, there's been like rumors that they have kind of that they're either swingers or have an open relationship, right? So this August shit kind of rocked their world, right? And to anybody who wasn't privy to those rumors, they were just like, oh shit, what the fuck? Will Smith, because even J. Cole's like, I want that Jada and Will love. And now everybody's like making memes how, yeah, that might not be what you want. But yeah, basically when this came out, Jada decided to do a Red Table Talk, which is their popular Facebook watch show, where they just kind of talk about important topics. And I guess Jada brought herself to the table and had Will Smith sort of interviewing her. And then they revealed a lot of stuff. First, they revealed that I guess they had a break about 4 or 5 years ago. And in that break, she started dating August Alsina. But then she broke up with him and got back with Will. And that's why, that's really what it is. That's probably the most concise way to put it. But it was just funny because the memes were just incredible. Because there's one still of Will Smith being extremely depressed, and a lot of people are making fun of that because he just looked real depressed with her talking about, oh, I hadn't felt good in such a long time. And then August Alsina made me feel good with his big black cock. Which is what she was trying to say, you know what I mean? It's not a surprise. I think that's exactly what she was implying that happened. So she hadn't felt so good she said she hadn't felt good in a long time, which implies that she felt good with him. And then there was a lot of conversations around this, right? One conversation that can be talked about is that, did Jada Pinkett Smith take advantage of August Alsina? And I guess my answer to that is kind of, but not really, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with adults. Now, adults can be vulnerable, and that's kind of what happened with August Alsina. Jada Pinkett Smith kind of admitted that herself. She was talking about when she came across August, he was kind of in a very vulnerable place, and she just loves fixing people. Another J. Cole reference: he don't want to be saved. But in this case, he switched the pronouns. He don't want to be saved. Don't save them. He don't want to be saved. And that's why this whole issue started. But, a lot of people were saying Jada Pinkett Smith kind of took advantage of August Alsina because, just because of, his state. And look, I definitely understand that. And you got to think about this from August Alsina's perspective, right? He's kind of struggling mentally, right? He's a very popular artist, but he's having some mental health issues, right? Yeah, around this time, he had like a hit single, I think, probably. I'm not sure the timeline, but people know him. He's a known artist, August Alsina at this point. He's having some mental health issues. Then somehow he comes across Jada Pinkett Smith, who is probably a crush of his, right? Because she's like somebody who's been beautiful for a very long time, and a lot of people have had crushes on her growing up. So then you see that, right? And then she comes to you and kind of wants to start a relationship. The fuck? Why wouldn't you take it? And she's like helping you and shit, like helping you deal with your mental health, right? So now imagine being in his shoes and you being with this woman that you've loved for such a long time, right? You've had a crush on, presumably. And then she's helping you with your mental issues and everything's going great. And then all of a sudden she's like, all right, gotta go. Bye. Right. There must have been some miscommunication there because you know what it is? That's really what it was. Jada Pinkett Smith just wanted to feel good. And that was her little side project. And it wasn't a clear thing. I don't believe it was a clear thing of, listen, this is going to be this or that, right? I don't believe it was. And even if it was, I could relate with August in like, even if you know what the situation is, it doesn't make it hurt any less when she leaves. This is actually very similar to a situation that I've had in the past, now that I think about it. But yeah, so now August Alsina, she leaves, and he's kind of like stunned, like, fuck, she was helping me with my mental health. She was, she was doing this, she was doing that, and now she's fucking leaving. What am I going to do? And, unfortunately, what can you do? The only thing you can do is just fucking accept that. And this sounds like this happened about, like, this isn't recent. Like, they kind of broke that relationship off. And now August Alsina is kind of snitching. I mean, I understand he's heartbroken, but that's another thing. Why the fuck did August Alsina think this was a good idea to put out there, right? Like, this was supposed to be a secret thing. They broke up. You can allude to this, but don't do a whole fucking interview just revealing everything. That's snitching. You're not supposed to do that. And now you look stupid because they come on to the Red Table Talk and they address this, and now nobody's even talking about August Alsina anymore, aside from the memes. They're really just making fun of, like, Will Smith being a cuck or whatever the fuck, whatever Leafy would say. You're a fucking cuck, dude. Yeah, that is just weird that August Alsina would do that. But that's about it with that fucking thing. I don't know what the fuck August's next step is going to be. A lot of people are saying this was like an album rollout. I don't think this really was that good of a rollout, because I don't think that many people are going to check out his album because of this. If anything, everybody checked out this helped out the Smiths way more than it helped out August Alsina. And if August Alsina's plan was to get people to listen to his music because he revealed this, he was sorely mistaken, because nobody gives a fuck about your music, August Alsina. I'm sorry to say. Don't put out a fucking 40-track album and expect people to listen to it. But the other thing I want to talk about with this topic is open relationships, and how I think it should be more normal. I think open relationships, I feel like, make sense for, let's say, a couple. I don't know. I think it makes sense if two people, right, have been married for a long time and they fall out of lust, right? Like, they're not attracted to each other anymore, but, like, they're as famous as the Smiths are and want to keep their family together. They want to tear it apart. I think it actually makes all the fucking sense in the world to have an open relationship, right? As long as it's kept in secret. I mean, a lot of people are saying that Will Smith kept this shit, his side hoes, in secret, and then Jada Pinkett Smith's side hoe revealed everything. But I feel like it makes total sense. I don't think anybody should be knocking it. Listen, these people are not regular people. This is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. This is one of the biggest families in the whole fucking United States. They're like the Black Kardashian. They're like the Black Kardashians, almost like a less problematic Kardashian family, right? In that, like, everybody in the family is pretty famous. You got Jaden Smith, was a little bit of a weirdo. Will Smith's also a little bit of a weirdo. Will Smith, one of the biggest action movie stars of all time, and what's his name? What's her name? Jada Pinkett Smith, right? Who was recently in Gotham. That's all. That's funny that's a credit I'll mention. She was in Gotham. Did you guys know that? But yeah, I think it makes sense. An open relationship between, it's not a regular situation, so what the fuck can you do? But I guess that's it with that. I mean, don't be surprised. That'll be hilarious if Will Smith's side hoe speaks out. A lot of people are speculating that what's her name? Margot Robbie was one of Will Smith's side bitches. Excuse my French, but she's too big to fucking snitch. There's no way she's gonna say anything about that. So I guess this is it for now. At least now we know that they're. But that's the other thing. The way they addressed this, they just said they had a break about 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't say this is something they do regularly, which I thought interesting. I guess it makes sense. You don't want to tarnish. You don't want to put that out there. But I think it's pretty obvious to anybody who's watching. It's like, yeah, they're probably fucking around. They're probably fucking around and fucking other people.